Welcome. Thank you for joining me, grayboardgamer, here with the third game in my small box playthrough series. This time I'm playing Multiuniversum from Board and Dice. Let's get this box open and get it set up. The Multiuniversum project is a top-secret endeavor undertaken by the scientists employed by CERN, the Swiss research facility. Among those experts, a group of true visionaries was selected in order to fulfill one task: build a time machine. As a member of this team, it is your sole responsibility to succeed in this nigh impossible scientific challenge. After months of arduous research and innumerable tests, you have managed to build a highly sophisticated device. You are planning to use it to make a hole in space-time that will allow you to move back in time exactly one day. Unfortunately, a theory and its practical application are close to each other only on pages of science logs. During the experiment with the machine, the first actual run of all 5 pillars of this contraption, your team makes a real breakthrough. You realize that you have managed to open over a dozen portals to other dimensions, to some strange alternate forms of reality. This could be a history-changing discovery. All the portals are unveiling one by one in front of your eyes, and your team is but a step from exploring the alternate reality. However, there is one problem left to solve. Hundreds of terrifying monsters are starting to escape through the portals from the home dimensions into our world. This cannot happen. You immediately command your fellow scientists, overload the transformers, close the portals. The first thing for setup is to take these 5 different colored transformers, numbered 1 through 5, and to place them on the playing area, and we're going to have them form a circle, a kind of circle. Here's our circle-shaped area with transformers 1 through 5. We have white, yellow, red, blue, and green, which I'll refer to them by their colors during the gameplay. And next we need to take the portal cards, which there are 20 of, and as we go through these in the game, I'll bring them close to the camera because I got some really nice art on them. And you separate these into 3 different distinct stacks, whether they have 1 tool mark on them, 2, or 3. So we'll separate them into those stacks. And then each portal will get 1 of the single tool cards at the top of each transformer. Let me turn these this way, that way it's easier to see. And then 2 of the cards that have 2 tools on them each. And then finally 1 of the cards that have 3 tools on them. And now each of these stacks will get shuffled and then placed back down face up. All of the stacks of portal cards have been shuffled. And again, there's 4 in each stack. 1 of the 1 tool, 2 of the 2 tool, and 1 of the 3 tool cards. So there's 4 in each stack for a total of 20. Next we have our scientist cards. I'm going to play as the blue player, and the virtual player for the solo game that I'm going to play will be the white one. And you can see they have these 2 arrows on them. 1 on this side, which is where we'll place portals that we close for our scoring later on. And then the tool symbol will place tools that we have ready or equipped on the other side. And we'll place these off to the side here. And each player gets their meeple of their color. And you start out on the transformer of the color. So the blue player, me, will start on the blue, and the virtual player white will start on the white transformer. Next we have our stack of action cards. which we will shuffle. Give them another quick mix. They've already been shuffled. Give them another one real quick. And then, this being a solo game, I'm the only one who will get cards initially. So I get 3 cards into my hand, and then the stack gets placed in the middle of the transformers. And at the beginning of the game, the first 5 cards on top form the discard pile. And this is important because cards can be taken from the discard pile with actions. So you have to have some to start out. And that's all there is to setting up the solo game. The regular game would require just as much setup. It's not any more complex, except that each player would get 3 cards instead of just me getting 3 cards. The virtual player will get cards throughout the game, but not at the beginning. So we're set up and we're ready to go. And I'll explain all the symbols on the different cards and the different actions you can take as we go through the gameplay. The ultimate goal here in the solo game is to score more points than the virtual player at the end of the game. And you get points by either closing the portals. Here, I don't want to disturb the stack and see what's underneath, but whenever you use tools and it shows you which tools you need to close the portal, you get that many points at the end. Like in this one, we get 1 point for closing this portal at the end of the game. Then you also see these symbols down here, and there's various symbols, and they'll either have this one little arc under it, which means there's only 1 card with that symbol on it in the game, or as you can see, this one's worth 5 points, but it takes 3 tools to close it, or it'll have 3 of the arcs to form a full circle around it, which means there are 3 of this symbol in the game. Also at the end of the game, if you have cards with 5 different symbols on them, that's worth 9 points. Or if you have a set of cards, or if you have all 3 symbols for a single set, that's also worth 9 points. Or 2 cards from a set is worth 4 points apiece. And you use all your cards at the end to make these different sets, whether it's 5 different symbols, 3 of a single symbol, or 2 of a single symbol, but you can only use them once each. So if I had 7 cards and I used these 5 to comprise the 5 different symbols, then I only have these 2 left, and hopefully they're the same symbols so I can get 4 points out of them. And this will all make much more sense when we do the scoring at the end, but just keep in mind, not only are we collecting points, but we want to collect certain symbols if we can to maximize our score at the end. You can take up to 3 actions during your turn. You don't have to take any, or you don't have to take all 3, it's up to you, but you can do 3 different things, and you can do them in any order, and you can do them multiple times. You can do the same thing 3 times if you want to. First thing you can do is resolve an action from a card. Let me pick up the cards from my hand here. And the actions are here, printed on each card in 5 different colors. And it depends on what transformer you're standing on, which ones you can do. I'm standing on the blue transformer, so that means only the blue actions on the cards work right now. And for me, that would be, I could play a card to move to another transformer, or here, this would allow me to draw 2 cards from the stack here. And the other actions on here are activate the transformer you're on, seal one of the portals, and recycle. And recycle means you would take any card of your choice from the discard pile. But right now my choices are move or draw 2 cards. Also, you can prepare a tool. And what that is is you take any one of the cards. These have the tool symbols. That's the symbols you see on the right here. And by preparing it, you are taking it and placing it under your scientist card to show that it's ready to go. And finally, you can discard a card, which is what the little trash barrel symbol means down here. And you can, anytime you want, you could discard a card for one of your actions, and that allows you to draw a new one. So those are the 3 actions you can take. And the game ends when 3 of these portal stacks are empty. As soon as the 3rd stack becomes empty, the game ends and the scoring begins to see if I scored more points than the virtual player. And one last thing was, I mentioned, if you see on that white symbol, the activate the transformer you're currently on, their ability. Each transformer has its own ability. For example, the white transformer, you'll see in the bottom left there that symbol of the portal stack with a question mark. That means that you can take any one portal stack and then put those cards back in any order. And if this was a multiplayer game, you can do that without anyone knowing what order you put them in. So you can pick it up, look at them yourselves, and put it back down. Of course, they'll see the top card, but that's the only one that they will see. And then the yellow portal, you see that symbol there with 2 cards with a line through it. And that allows you to draw 3 cards and then discard 2. And that's discard 2 from your hand. So you'll draw the 3 cards, take them into your hand, which there is no hand limit. You can have as many cards as you want. And then you have to discard 2. Next we have the red portal. You got that little switch symbol, which allows you to choose any 2 face-up portal cards and swap them. So if I wanted to change these 2, they would just flip places. But if any of the portal stacks are empty, you can't move something to an empty space. It has to be swapped between portals that actually have things on them. The blue transformer, you can see that portal stack with an arrow going under it. And what that does is when that's activated, all the portal stacks take their top card, put it on the bottom, so it'll reveal the next card in line on the portal stack. And then finally, the green portal has the tool symbol on its card in the bottom left. And when activated, that allows you to take a card that you played that turn, not a tool card, but a card that you played one of its actions. And if you activated the green portal's tool ability, then at the end of the turn, when you put those cards to the discard pile, you can choose one of them to place under your scientist card as a tool. I've thrown a lot of rules and a lot of terminology at you, so let's dive right into the gameplay. I'm here on the blue portal, and like I said, I can move to a different one or draw 2 cards. I have 2 of these cards with the, and I call it a microchip symbol. And then I have 1 card with the atom symbol, or atomic symbol is what I call it. And I have a portal here that can be closed with 1 atomic symbol, but I don't have any cards that I could play an action on that allows me to seal a portal at this time. And we have several out there with a microchip and the atom symbol on them. So maybe my best bet is to move. But first I'm going to use 2 turns to equip these 2 as tools, the microchip and the atomic symbol, and get them under my scientist card. And then I'm on the blue portal, so I'm going to use, for my 3rd and final action, the blue move, and move myself over here to the yellow portal. And that's all 3 of my actions. At the end of your turn, if you have less than 3 cards, you draw back up to 3. So we'll get a magnet, or a magnetism symbol, and we're on the yellow portal, so we get one that we can do with recycle, draw 2 cards, another magnet, and activate the portal, and another magnet. So that's not that great. That doesn't help us a lot. I need something that allows me to actually seal the portal, because I have the 2 tools that are for this one, and then this card that I played will get discarded. And now the virtual player gets to go. And the way the virtual player works is they draw 2, and they are immediately placed under their card as symbols, or as tools that they can use. And then you look and see if the portal that they're on currently can be closed with what they have. And if it can, you discard the appropriate cards. They take the portal as points. But in this case, we need a microscope and a microchip. Does not have that, so we will simply move to the next portal. If he was able to seal the portal, then he would seal it and then move on. So he's after, whether he seals it or not, he's going to keep moving around the board. And as these build and he has more and more, it's going to be easier for him to seal portals and seal ones that have 3 symbols, which are worth more points also. So we definitely want to move quickly to seal them ourselves. And that brings me back to my turn. And remember, we're on the yellow, and we don't have anything that's going to allow us to seal it right now. So I'm going to use this to draw 2 cards. These magnets aren't doing us a lot of good either, because only one portal can be sealed with the use of a magnet, and it needs more than just a magnet. So I will use the action on that to draw 2 cards. And we got lucky. We got one of the portal seal symbols, and we're going to do that right away. For my second action, I'm going to seal the portal, and that's going to require the 2 cards, or the 2 tools that I have. When you use the tools, they do get discarded right away. So they're going to go to the discard pile, and that allows me to seal this portal. Let's take a look at this art. And it looks like it's some kind of undead realm. Doesn't look like it's a place we really want creatures coming out of. And that will go under my card. Oh, and let me show you again. It's worth 3 points, and it has a tentacle symbol on it, and we know that there's at least 2 more of those out there. So that'll go under my card for now. I don't see another tentacle symbol right now. So I have one more action that I can take. We now have a portal that requires 3. And we have 2 magnets and a microchip. Magnets and a microchip will work on these, but we also need additional cards. Magnet, microchip, and then a microscope or an atomic symbol. So what I will do is, I'm on the yellow portal. I'm going to use the recycle action for my third action. I can dig through here, and I'm going to look for one of those microscope cards. Just like that. So now we have the microscope. And that was our third action, so we don't have any more. The cards that we played for actions get discarded. We already have 3, so we're not going to draw any more. And the reason I did that is that gives me all 3 symbols for where I'm at right now currently. So I can just stay there, play these cards. It may take more than 1 turn, but I'll be able to seal one with 3 symbols on it and give me, excuse me, which will give me 5 points. We come to the virtual player who has 2 of the symbols already, so we're hoping he does not draw a microscope for one of his 2. Microchip, microscope, bad news for us. because he will now discard the magnet, the microscope, and the microchip to seal the portal where he's at, which is the one that we were going to go for. Some more really great art. And I'll stop saying that and just let it speak for itself. Make sure I show you each of them as they come off the board. That's going to give him 5 points, and then some kind of like meteoroid symbol, that's what we'll call it. Or some really misshapen egg. That's a big score for the virtual player. Right out of the gate like that. And then moves on to the next portal, or the next transformer, making it my turn next. Now I could play the microchip, I'm already there, but I don't have anything that's going to allow me to seal it up. We have recycling, draw 2, activate transformer. If I activate the transformer, it'll allow me to draw 3 and discard 2. Maybe that's my better choice right now. I think I'll do that. I'll use that to activate it, draw 3, and see what all my options are. I do have the ability to seal now, so maybe I will do that. And I have 4 different symbols, including the little beaker symbol now. I got a couple of microscopes. So I will play the chip as a tool and then use the yellow seal symbol for my third action. Discard the chip and seal the portal. It's only worth 1 point, and it gives me a symbol that there's only one of. So maybe I'll go for the 5 different symbols. So I'm up to 4 points. I have 3 cards, so I don't get to draw any more. These will get discarded. And we'll move on to our virtual player, who already has the microchip for here. Draws a magnet. Oh no. And if he draws the atomic symbol, oh, that's awful. Man, we just got hammered. That's another 5-pointer. Ouch. So, discards 3. And we'll get another 5-pointer. And this is the box art. I like this little guy down here too. Ouch. 2 5-pointers. Wow. That's going to be hard for me to make up. I guess the only good thing, and then he will move on, the only good thing is he doesn't have any tool cards right now, so anything... Well, this only has 1 symbol on it, so you might be able to seal that one quickly too. I've reset back a little bit to fix the mistake I made, because before it was the virtual player's turn where he could have drawn 2 cards, I should have discarded 2. From that time that I activated the yellow transformer's ability, before the end of my turn I had to discard those 2 cards. And then that meant I would have been below 3 cards and I would have drawn cards from the pile. So I put that portal back and I put the 2 cards back face down on top here as they would have been drawn, and I gave him his chip symbol back. I caught it quick enough to where I could reset back to that point and not have it affect the game very much. Now I have to choose which 2 I want to get rid of. Well, we have a microscope on 3 portals, the atomic symbol on 3. I'll keep the atomic symbol. Discard these 2, and then at the end of my turn I would draw that magnet and the atomic symbol to have 2. And I guess I didn't need to keep the atomic symbol because I already forgot that that's what was coming up next, which is appropriate. I should know what's coming up next, even though I reset it, I forgot, so that's fair. And now it's the virtual player's turn, and he draws an atomic symbol. Oh, not a magnet this time though. So I'm just going to put this on top of that one. That way we can save space and be able to see what he has. So he does not have what it needs for this portal, and we'll move on to the next transformer, which we'll be able to definitely seal in the next turn. So we're not in as bad a shape as we thought. He only has that 1/5 pointer. Now with that corrected, it is my turn. And I'm on the yellow transformer, and I have the ability to draw 2 cards or move to another location. I have 2 atomic symbols and a magnet. I could move here and take this one out from under him, because I can't seal that one with what I have. I think that's a good idea. I'm going to activate this atomic symbol as a tool. And then for my second action, oh, what am I thinking? Wait a minute. I don't have a symbol that's blue. This one seals it. Oh, I don't have what I need to do it, because if I, let me show you, because both of my move symbols are on atomic ones, which I need, when I move to blue, I need this one to seal the portal. So I meant if I used this one to make the tool, then I would have nothing to move with. So that's not going to work. There's no way to get there and take that one away from the virtual player. Maybe it's best if I stay where I'm at then. I will play this, like I said, as a tool. Then I'll use this action to draw 2 more cards. That'll give me not what I need. I needed a microscope, but I can seal now. So we'll take this one to recycle, and that'll be my 3rd and final action. I'll just take this one right off top, place it in my hand, discard these cards because I'm not going to draw any. And now we'll move to our virtual player, who's definitely going to seal that. Gets a microscope and a beaker. And we'll put these here, like I said, so we can see them. And he has the 1 atomic symbol that he can discard and seal up that portal. Reminds me of something you'd see from Spelljammer or any other science fiction universe where they have flying ships like that. So that's a 1-pointer. Now he's at 6 and moves on. First, I'm going to prep this microscope as a tool, and then on the yellow portal, use my second turn to seal it. So I'll discard my microscope and atom. And that's our first stack that's empty. So 1 transformer is taken care of. We got a homicidal gummy bear. Looks like an interesting place. That's a 3-pointer. We have 3 different symbols, and the virtual player has 2 different symbols. So we prepped a tool, we sealed, and now we have one more action, and we could move ourselves to another portal. He's going to close that one. And then he's going to move over there and have a good chance of closing that one. So I will play for my third action to move from the yellow and come over here to the red portal, because it's going to take him a little while to get around here. And this is where the 3-pointers are at. I have no cards, so I'll draw back up to 3. I get a beaker, a microscope, and another beaker. Well, that doesn't help me very much, because neither one of these need a microscope and only this one needs a beaker. Well, we'll just have to see what we can do with it on our turn. Virtual player gets another microscope and another microchip, so yeah, I'll definitely be able to seal these coming up. That one only has 1 microscope on it, so he will discard 1, seal another portal. Kind of looks like storyboard art from a Transformers movie. That's another 1-pointer, and his 3rd different symbol also. Moves on, and he already has the components for that one, so that's another one that's going to get sealed, and another 3-pointer for the virtual player. I see something that I can do to prevent him from sealing that portal. I'm on the red transformer now, and I'm going to activate it for 1 action, and that has the swap symbol on it. So I will swap the one I'm on currently with this one, because he does not have an atomic symbol or a magnet, so hopefully he doesn't draw both of those and prove me wrong, but the odds are better at him drawing 2 that he needs than knowing that he's going to seal 1. Now we have a microscope, which I'm going to prep a tool, and then for my 3rd and final action, I'm going to, here on the red portal, draw 2, get a beaker. How about a chip? Yes, that'll be good next time. And we only have 2 cards, so we'll grab an atomic symbol, discard these. And the virtual player will now go. Gets a microscope, so we know he's not going to get everything he needs. Great. So that was a good move after all. And a beaker. Still doesn't have what he needs. It's going to move on, and not going to be able to seal 1 next time. But if he gets here, he will. So I'll have to make sure I'm the one that seals that somehow. I'm here on the red, so I think I'll be able to do that. I need a microscope and a chip, so I will prep the chip, and then here on the red portal, take an action to seal it. I'll discard those 2 tools, and we'll get us another 3-pointer. And it's another symbol we don't have, so we're up to 4. So we're working towards that 9-pointer. So we played a card, we sealed it. We're here on the red, and I could draw 2 cards, but I'm going to draw 2 cards anyway. And this atomic card is pretty good because 3 of the portals have it on it. So I will prep it for a later turn, and that'll leave me empty so I can draw 3 cards. An atomic symbol, a magnet, and a beaker. That's great for here. I have the atomic symbol, the beaker and the magnet are right there. I just need to move over there, and I can seal another one, or that'd be my first one for 5 points. That's it for me. Virtual player is just going to draw 2. Gets his first atomic symbol. Still doesn't have a magnet. Moves on. He's going to be able to seal that one next time. I'm here on the red. I don't have a card that would allow me to seal. Oh, I forgot to discard that. I don't have a card that would allow me to seal. I need to get ready to seal this one. So I'm going to move over there. I know I'm using my magnet up, but I want to get over here. And then I'm going to, well, I'm on the blue now, so I can recycle or draw 2. I will recycle and grab a magnet. There we go. And then I'll prep, put the magnet on there. So now I'll need to prep this next time, but that's the end of my turn. Get an atomic symbol and a magnet, and perfect, I'm on the blue, and I got something I can seal with. So I'll be able to get that done before the virtual player can take it out from under me. He draws his 2 cards, a microchip and another microscope. He will discard one of his beakers, seal another portal with a unique symbol on it. So now he has 4 different ones. And that will cause him to move over to where I am. I got to seal this before he gets a chance to. He doesn't have a magnet, but he might get one. I'll get that tool ready and use my blue. Those should have been discarded last time. Use my blue action to seal it, which will put all 3 of these into the discard pile and give me my first 5-pointer. And my 5th symbol. And we're here on the blue. I could recycle. He's going to seal this. I can't do anything about that. I could discard this. Has an atomic symbol, which there's a couple of there. So I'll just hold on to it. And I will not do any more actions. And draw 2 cards to get back up to 3. A microscope. A beaker would be nice. Nope, it's a magnet. Atomic symbol, beaker, magnet. Okay. And then we'll draw one. He'll get an atomic symbol. Now we need to shuffle the discard pile up so he can draw his second card. Give us a nice thorough mix. Hopefully keep him from getting a magnet. Well, doesn't really matter because none of these need magnets. And another beaker. He needs an atomic symbol or an atom in a beaker. Before I do that, we have to create the discard pile again by placing 5 cards there. Now you can discard those and seal another portal. This one's worth 3. Nice. Got the psychotic Lego man. And that is his 5th symbol now. So he'll be able to gain that bonus at the end also. And move on. And he has enough to seal that too. So if there's something I can do to stop that, I should. I'm here on the blue. And I have the 2 symbols for this, but I don't have anything that's going to allow me to seal it. Because I'll have to use it up. I could recycle and get one. Is there anything I can do? I don't think there's anything I can do to change. If I recycled, grabbed the move card, moved there, activated the transformer, I could swap some things out. That might be the way to do it. To keep him from getting this 5-pointer, I can put this one in its place. Okay, let's do that. First I need to use my blue recycling symbol to get a blue movement card. There's one. Then I'll play the blue movement. That allows me to go to the red and then play the red activation of the transformer to play the swap. Swap these 2. If he does draw a magnet, at least he's only going to get a 3-pointer. And that was all 3 of my actions. Draw back up. I got a beaker. Already had a magnet. And that takes us to... He got a beaker. We're almost there. No magnet. Oh! Darn it. So he'll discard that magnet and one of his atoms right away. But 3 is better than 5, which he would have got. Like the volcano has a face. There's my dog barking downstairs. Let me go see what she wants. Well, it wasn't an intruder. It was just somebody delivering some mail. So he's going to get this 3-pointer. And now he has 2 of these symbols. So that could be bad for us in the long run. Because he could use those to get 4 points. And if he gets another symbol, he can use the other symbols. Well, we'll see how it goes. And then we'll move on. Bringing it back around to me. And I need to seal some portals. He's going to need a magnet again up there. He is. I could draw 2 cards. I think I'll do that first. Let's see. I have a beaker, a magnet. I could move. Will the beaker and magnet do me? Or beaker and atomic symbol won't do anything right away. I should probably just stay right where I am. and spend that to draw 2 because I'm on the red. And there's the microchip I need for the location I'm on. But I don't have a symbol that will allow me to seal. But I'll ready the beaker and the microchip as tools. That'll take up my final 2 actions. And then I can use my recycle next time to grab something that'll allow me to seal this portal up. I'll draw 1 card. It's another beaker. And now we're up here again. We don't want a magnet. Good. Here we go. No magnet. Nice. This time he's not going to get to seal it and move to the empty spot. So we have a turn that we don't have to worry about that happening. On our turn, we will use the red transformer to recycle. I need a red gate or portal seal. There we go. So we'll take that card and then play it right away to seal the portal. Discard my 2 readied tools to close. Ooh, those big rats? Yeah, I think I see a rat tail here coming out of the sewer. And I have this symbol too, so now I have 2 of the symbol also to my benefit. So we recycled and we sealed. Now we have a magnet and a beaker, which is what we have right now. We could seal where we're at. So I'm going to stay right there. I'm going to activate the beaker. That way I get to draw 2 more cards at the end of my turn. And a red recycle. And look at that, we got a red portal sealing symbol. So we're doing good. We're hanging in there against the virtual player, who will draw 2, grab a microscope, and now he has a full set of everything. So we have to beat him over. We have to beat him to sealing this one. And I think that's the last one in that stack. So he's not going to do anything, but he's going to move to our location. I'm going to quickly, oops, let me discard the cards, which I always forget to do. I'm going to use my first action, prepare my magnet. Second action, on the red transformer, seal this portal up. And that will give me 3 more points. And close the portal on the gremlin universe, apparently. And I'll get the third, that's the 3rd symbol that he has 2 of, so that'll keep him from getting the 3rd one, which would have given him 9 points. So we're hanging in there. So we readied that, we sealed it. And now, what do we want to do? Actually, I'm going to recycle. That way I can get, I'm just going to take this one right here. That way I'll be able to move away from this empty transformer next turn. And I'll draw 2 to bring me back up. We got an atomic symbol and another magnet. And that would only really help us up there. But that's what we have to work with. Now we have 2 empty. As soon as we empty our 3rd one, that will end the game. The virtual player now has plenty of everything. He's got, oh, tons of magnets. Nothing to seal. Moves on. But we'll get this 5-pointer next time. And I don't have anything. I could have activated this to swap it out with this 2 here. Or this 3.2 tool symbol, but didn't think of it. I can move, or seal. I need to move. So I will play one of my red move symbols. I'm going to come up here, that way I can work on this 5-pointer. And then I'm going to play both of these for my other 2 actions remaining to prep them as tools. And then I'm only going to need a microchip. I get to draw 3 because I'm down to 0. Oh, there's the microchip. And I'm on the white, so I need a white seal card, which I don't have, but I do have a white recycle, and I can grab one off the discard pile. Perfect. And that will end my turn. Now we're here. He's going to draw 2 more. And as you can see, when you get late in the game and he has all the cards he needs, he's going to seal everything he comes across. So you have to... Oh no, that's the last one too. I totally missed that. Ouch. That might have lost the game for me because he's got a 5-pointer right at the end. So we have 3 transformers empty, the game ends, and we go into the scoring. And that's going to hurt because these unused tools are going to go against me on my score. I should have seen that coming and not equipped anything. So if I lose by 1 or 2, it's because I did this like a dummy. So the first thing you do is you take the portals that you do have sealed, and we add up the total in the upper left corner. So we got 3, 4, 7, 10, 15, 18, 21. And then next, unused tools subtract. So I lose 2, so I'm down to 19. And by unused tools, it's the ones that are placed under your card, not in your hand. And then we go to the dimension icons here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 out to use separately. And then I have these 5 different symbols, and that's worth 9 points. So my 19 turns into a 28. And then these 2 together are worth 4. So that's going to give me 32, which I don't think is going to be enough to beat this guy over here. He doesn't lose any points for cards that he has over here. So we add up his numbers. We got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19. And then we go to his symbols. And he's in the same situation. What did I say? I already forgot what I totaled up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 19. Okay, 19 and 9. 5 different symbols. 28 and 4 is 32, which is a tie, and I don't know who wins ties. Let me check. I'm checking the rule book, and it says in case of what happens in case of a tie. But this is under the multiplayer game. It says the player with the least unused tools, which would be me because technically all his are used, so that doesn't apply. The player with the most sealed portals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Player with the most cards in his hand. Well, that's not fair because he doesn't have a hand of cards. And then it says the oldest player is the final tiebreaker. And again, we don't know the age of the virtual player, so we can't do that. So I think, anticlimactically, it just ends in a draw. We both have 32 points. It says at the end of your game, count the score. Finally, compare your score with the virtual player's score. Whoever gets the highest score wins the game. Well, looks like nobody got the highest score. Well, that That really stinks, because if I wouldn't have played those two tools, I would have won. So you can see that made a big difference. I didn't lose the game because I played them, I ended up tying because I played them. Now my final thoughts. I'm going to start with the rule book, which when I first saw it, I thought there was a ton of pages. I'm thinking a 52-page rule book for a card game is kind of big, but then as I looked at it, I realized you can see in the upper right corner that the book is in 3 different languages. So we're only really dealing with an 18-page rule book. So it's very straightforward. It steps through the process of setup and gameplay and how the gameplay flows, and the rules are easy to follow. The diagrams are in the right places and make sense. The rule book is done well, no problem. You give it a quick read, step through the game the first time you play it through. You may have to reference the rule book a few times, but after that, no problems at all. And the symbols, you learn what they are, and there's not a ton of them to learn. So the rule book works really good. The components, the cards, of course the art is great. I love the art on these. And that's why I wanted to make a point to bring them close to the camera during the gameplay. I did have a little bit of problem with glare because of my overhead lights, but can't complain about that. There's not much you can do. They're a good stock, nice and sturdy. They do get handled quite a bit, so if you're on the fence about sleeving or not sleeving, then I would go with. I don't sleeve cards, but that's just me being stubborn. And the layout of the cards is real good, works and fits into the theme of the game just fine. The symbols are easy to recognize and see and understand what they're for. And that's really mostly what the game is. It's mostly cards. When you have a couple wooden meeples that come with in the 5 colors of each player. But other than that, there's not a lot of components to go over. The box they come in, not a lot of excess space in here. So your decks will fit in there just fine. Nice and easy, simple. The theme, for me the theme works really well because I'm really into fiction, science fiction, things that deal with dimensional travel, other dimensions, time travel, things like that. So this theme really fits in for me. And the theme comes across very, very good. Each time you pick up another one of these cards and look at it, you see something a little bit different each time. And you can see that little bit of reference, like here, or nod to other things, other fictional worlds, other creators. So I really enjoy it. You just can't beat the art on these. They did a really, really good job. And the theme holds strong throughout with the symbols tied in with the rest of the game. Even the cool drawings of each of the Transformers. You can see, I didn't realize it at first how big these were until I saw it in scale with the little tiny people down here working on it. Seeing just how massive the Transformers were in those photos or on those cards. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough of Multiuniversum, the solo playthrough. This was the 3rd game in my small box series. We have 1 more to go, so keep an eye out for that. I'll have that coming out as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to click on these links and consider supporting the channel through Patreon. If you'd like to make a one-time donation, the link to my GoFundMe page for equipment upgrades is in the video description below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Also leave some comments and check out the other videos on the channel. Your support is appreciated, and I'll see you in my next video.